All right, guys, the 2025 dove season in Texas is upon us. It's about a month away, so I want to get this video out for all of you who are just getting into Texas public land hunting and you're wanting to go dove hunting on September 1st or the whole month of September. Whenever you're going dove hunting, let's get you set up to where you need to be and let's go over some things. First things first is what kind of licenses do you need in the state of Texas to go out on public land and hunt for dove? So I'm going to go over that first. So this is the Texas Outdoor Annual page. This is the hunting regulations, and then you go down to hunting licenses and packages. So what I usually do is the combination hunting and fishing license because I hunt and fish all year long. I always get the super combo license package. The super combo includes resident hunting license, resident fishing license, archery endorsement, freshwater fishing, saltwater fishing, upland game bird endorsement, and migratory bird endorsement. You have to have that migratory bird endorsement in order to dove hunt. If you're going to go duck hunting, you need to make sure you have that federal duck stamp, which is required for waterfowl hunting, and it's not included in the super combo. You got to pay a little extra for that. The other thing you need to get is the annual public hunting permit for the Texas resident. It's a $48 fee. Yes, it is $48. However, you do get a bunch of acres in Texas. I don't even know how many acres they have, to be honest with you, but there's a lot, and I'm going to get into that later in this video. If you want to skip to that part, you can go ahead and skip to that part. I'll have it marked for you. There's also a HIP endorsement that you need. It's just a free survey, basically, about how many dove you killed last year, stuff like that. If you didn't kill any, you didn't kill any. It is what it is. But I believe Texas requires that HIP endorsement in order to go dove hunting. All right, so let's say you got your super combo package, or you got your hunting license and your migratory bird endorsement and your annual public hunting permit. You're good to go dove hunting in the state of Texas. So let's see what you need to go dove hunting. Now, these are things that I have found that are kind of cheap and might not be the best guns ever. So if you want to go out and get a good gun or get a good dove round, then you can. These are just some things that I found. I personally have a Stoeger 12 gauge. It's a turkey gun, but it doesn't feel like a turkey gun. It doesn't kick hard at all, and I like using it for any kind of shotgun hunting. I found this one on Academy's website. It's a Yildiz. I know it's not probably the best brand, but this thing is nice. It's a pump action shotgun, just a simple pump action 12 gauge. It's got nice wood on it, and it's got nice sketching of doves already on it. Like, who doesn't want that? I'm not saying it's the best shotgun in the world, but if you want to get out there for pretty cheap, it's only $249. If you want to get even more cheaper, you could probably go to a pawn shop, find a little gun, or you can get a single shotgun. I prefer to have 3 rounds in the chamber, which is by law. You have to have 3 rounds in the chamber when you're bird hunting. Let me correct that. Not 3 rounds in the chamber, but 3 rounds in the entire gun. You can't be able to fit a 4th round in there, or else it would be illegal. So if you get the shotgun, it probably fits more than 3 rounds. I have not read anything about it. Yeah, right here. Pump action with a 4+1 capacity. So if you get this, you just have to make sure that you can get a plug into it and be able to plug it so you can only fit 3 rounds. Game wardens will check that. As far as your shells go, I always go the Sure Shot Heavy Dove. There's a bunch of preferences on these. Every guy's going to have a different opinion. These are $11.99 a box for 25 shells. I've used these my entire life. I like these for clay shooting or just regular dove hunting. Decoys are not necessary. You do not need decoys in order to kill a dove. You can find you a nice little pond or some kind of water source, like even just a pile of mud, and it'll probably bring some dove in a field. However, decoys will bring the dove in closer to you, and if you're just starting out with dove hunting and you want to spend a little bit of money on some decoys, I would go ahead and do that if you can do that. Most people get the Mojo Voodoo Dove, which is this right here. It's just a electric spinner, so it just spins the wings and it imitates a dove coming flying in. These dove flickers have also been really popular in the upcoming years. You just put them on the ground and they kind of spin and then they stop and they spin and they stop. It just kind of imitates motion on the ground from a dove. And then obviously you got your clip-on doves. These have little clips on the bottom. You can clip them with sticks, fence lines, whatever you want to bring the doves in, because when doves see other doves, they want to go in there and say, hey, what's up? Are you having a party? And then you blast them. Now, according to this, these are all $100 if you buy all of them. However, you probably don't have to spend that much money. You might not need the dove flickers. I would say this one is pretty important, and then have a couple of these around it, and you're probably good. Like I said, those items are just recommended because they're pretty cheap. So if you're trying to get into dove hunting, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, then you can do that. And again, the decoys are not necessary if you want to go try it out without a decoy. Maybe you want to go get just a voodoo dove and see how it works, then you can go get that. All right, you got all your licenses, you got your certifications, you got your annual public hunting permit, and now you got your decoys and your shotgun, and you want to go out and shoot some dove. Where do you go do that? I myself don't own any land. I live in an apartment, so I have to go public land hunting, or somebody takes me on their land. Those are the only options I have. So if you want to go dove hunting in Texas and you don't know where to go, look up Texas Public Lands Hunting. It'll pull up the Texas Parks and Wildlife Public Hunting in Texas and access the TPWD lands. Click on that, it'll pull up Public Hunting in Texas. You'll know you're on the right page when you see this little dude right here holding this big shotgun that's probably going to blow his shoulder off. Just go ahead and scroll down until you get to the Public Hunting Areas interactive map. Click Explore Public Hunting Areas. Now you can do this on your phone, you can do this on the computer, whichever is easier. I prefer the computer, but you can also do it on your phone if you want. If you're chilling at work and not doing anything, being lazy, you can do this instead. So all the areas in green are going to be other hunting lands besides dove. They'll also include dove in a lot of them, but the orange ones are typically your dove and small game areas. I'll get into some of the green ones later on in a separate video. So if you want to watch that video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, support the channel. So I live in this area right here around Houston. Now there's a couple spots I can go to. I'm probably going to go to around Brenham area or maybe up here right past College Station. So let's look at this. Sorry, y'all, I had to go get my daughter because she was crying. Anyways, if you live in the Houston area, you could drive out west. We'll check out this one right here. So Plum Unit 2453 is 125 acres. And it tells you everything that you need to know about this unit, which isn't a lot because it's a small unit strictly for dove hunting or waterfowl hunting. But dove hunting is what we really care about right now since dove season's coming up in a month. So dove is each day of the first split of the central zone dove season, morning and white-winged dove. If you know how to read a map and read a map key, it tells you that the information and registration stations are right here. And there's 3 parking areas to get onto this unit, which is 125 acres. So it might look pretty small, but 125 acres is quite a lot of land. The DRs are designated public hunting roads, so you can go down that road, park in the little parking area, and walk out to your hunting spot. Now this one doesn't have any ponds on it, which is what I'd recommend, is finding one with ponds. If you live in Dallas area, I found a little spot right here, FM 902 Farm, so it's on FM 902. Click the more information. So this farm is strictly for dove hunting, and it is 480 acres. That's a lot of land. That's a lot of acres to go hunt. My brother lives up in Dallas, so we're probably going to go on a dove hunting trip to this one sometime in September. So if you see me out there, don't be afraid to say hi. I'll say hi and hunt with you. Again, you got information registration stations on the stars, and you got parking, 3 areas of parking. Now this is what I like. Let me zoom in. You got ponds right here that you can go hunt. I would recommend hunting the ponds because dove like a water source and a food source. Just like any other animal you hunt, they want water, they want food. This is a field, which I'm about to show you. So this is the Onyx Hunt app. It usually tells you all the public lands. For some reason, this one is not saying it's public. However, it's probably owned by somebody, then they're leasing out to Texas Parks and Wildlife to allow hunting in this area. So if you zoom in, this is your hunting fields. Fields are great for dove. You have some water sources right here and right here. I think this is a little slough that comes out. Let's see. Nope, it's not a little slough. But you can see you got a creek and some ponds over here. So your registration and parking is going to be right here and along this road somewhere. I have not been here, so I don't know. Now, if you look at this map, it shows you that there is 577 acres available. That is not true. That is owned by Millard Rice, whatever their name is. If you go back over to Texas Parks and Wildlife, it shows you the exact lines of where you can hunt. The map, public hunting area, right there, shows you where you can go hunt, and that's what you need to go by. So you can kind of just look at the picture of this and kind of see how it lines up. So you see the bottom kind of comes up, over, and then down. If you go back over to the other one, it comes up, over, and then down. So you know that you can't go into this woods right here or below those woods. You have to be right in here is probably where you want to hunt on this wood line. You also can't be up in this area because that is their house. So you can see that is blocked off right there. You cannot hunt up by the house. Don't do it. Just come down here or over here, somewhere where you can hunt, and make sure you follow those guidelines or you will get the laws called on you. All right, so this one is just south of San Antonio, kind of close to the city, if I'm going to be quite honest. But you got 2 dove hunting fields right here. So I already clicked on them. They're both in the same page of the Texas Outdoor Annual, number 2470 and number 2469. Like I said, these are for dove only. Each day of the first split season dove season, morning white-tailed wing, feral pigeons, Eurasian collared dove. The 2470 is 540 acres and the 2469 is 520. So this one's kind of easier to find on the map because you got the Lone Star Pass right here, Highway 16 right here. So Brett Mitchell owns this. You can see this is actually looking like a great dove hunting field. You got nice ponds out here. You just probably set up your decoys on the edge of those ponds. You'll probably get a plethora of dove. Again, this one's 545 acres, but make sure that you line it up with what you're seeing on Texas Parks and Wildlife page. So you can see that that's the hunting area. And it's pretty consistent with what onX shows you can hunt at. Now make sure that if you're shooting guns, you're away from the roads. I believe Texas says you have to be 150 yards from the roads. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe you have to be 150 yards away from the roads. What I like about onX is you can go ahead and get your line distances from the road to this pond, and you can see that that's 253 yards away, so you could probably shoot that way. I probably still wouldn't shoot towards the road, although your shotgun's probably not going to make it 253 yards. However, I'd probably just shoot that way. A lot of times in dove hunting, you want to shoot with the sun to your back. So if you're shooting in the morning, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So you could set up right here and shoot that way. That'd probably be your best bet. Or you can use these trees as cover in the afternoon and shoot this way if you wanted to. However, that's probably pretty far of a shot if you're trying to hunt this one. Or you could use these trees as cover and shoot kind of this way. But just be careful about that road. We don't want any damages happening to anybody's cars, and we want to be safe when we're hunting. That's pretty much it for public land hunting. Just make sure you have all the required licenses, your annual public hunting permit, the HIP endorsement, migratory bird endorsement, and you'll be okay. I always get the super combo, just a better deal, but you do you. If you're only going to dove hunt this year, and that's all you want to do, just make sure you have the proper licenses. Like I said, you look up Texas Public Land Hunting, and you get this entire map with all of these areas. Every area you see in orange, pretty much you can dove hunt at. There is a couple areas, like I think this is one. Yeah, so this one's only hogs, squirrels, rabbits, and hares. But if you want to hunt that, then you can go here and hunt that. But most of these areas in orange are going to have dove. Now I'm going to do another video about the green areas, the national forest, even maybe some exotic animals in West Texas. So if you want to check that out, check out my next video. If you liked the video and you thought it was informative, make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be posting some hunting videos this year, fishing tournament videos, and all kinds of videos about the outdoors. So just come with me, hit that subscribe button.